scandals eba Russell Nabra Bomono, Obekaya Meka say on the March 13, 1879, no, Russell Ekoshia na Hokafo Maria Frances Ackley Russell. Now, Omoware, in the month of June in 1903, no, Maria Frances Ackley filed for divorce. Now, premises are original so filed for divorce, no, and in ye, Oka said she was filing for legal separation for mental cruelty, referring to forced celibacy and frequent cold and indifferent treatment. Maria filed for divorce on the premises of said, ne Ora Russell, tetina, kwan biswa, ne enye. The one Russell treating no, Maria ehune said, ne enye okwan paso. Na Russell asitna anase na bakosema anase ni history mono. Ade ba kwa obohun said, ense efa Ora yimu. Na yadisu yimu die. Well, the majority of the historical facts and then accuracies are F. Charles Russell and then Yede Mamu. Now, we are the reference materials also ever to that. Now, so one can say, verify, which might verify. Another premise are courts no agent so they agree on the plea for legal separation and say it was also brought forth, say Ora Russell was having some affairs with a young maiden, young woman, na omo with a fee adiye and your friend Rose Ball. Into court no, grante alimony. Ye can say alimony a time be ye use for our for or separate. Bema ebe to be at the ama or bano na I to say startup. And as a step up, ama obani yusu ebra omejai aware no. Inti court no grante Maria and a plea for separation. Emma court no ejitu mu. Na ebra awarijai no eba no. Ora Russell eba bontin ebeka say wo awarijai ni mu no na enye ono no fault. And intina our giant abaye. So Obekaya Meka said Maria filed for legal separation on the premises of mental cruelty and cold treatment and indifferent treatment no Ora Russell and the man. Now so Ora Russell eba bontin Beka said na nya no credit say sa and the course. None of the Obeka said Maria filed for divorce because she wanted more control over Watchtower Bible Tract Society. Oba bontin beka say na Maria de ni nti a file for divorce no say na opese onya to me na opese gather a lot of control over Watchtower Bible Society and nti na file for divorce no. Now so in a year later no court eba bontin ebeka say Charles Taze Russell ebwa adentia Omo Bekansa because in previous years, that is 3 years before that, no, Ora Russell Eka said his marriage with Maria Frances Ackley was a mistake. Into Obekacha almost said wedding and I say in Kabum on Maria Akwe and Kasana a mistake into court na ruling in favor of Abawa Maria. Na wo asembibia mu no evidence eba out eboa wo asembibia na se no it only came from Reverend J.J. Ross ono pena or provided evidence to buttress what he's saying. Now so Ora Charles Taze Russell there one fa evidence ba kupo amba ambe buttress say ensema J.J. Ross ka for no no Entro and I say entro. Now Ora J.J. Ross the lawyer at the documents approving Niema Orkan sending church Charles Taze Russell in church it is anti-rational, anti-Christian, anti-scientific and a perversion of the son of our dear God. It's all the Niema by Emanebe Batches and some make up Russell Huni and Sema no prayer. na emra other side and send me and I said the lawyer edit evidence by after the later ora raso ebeka say ebayampa say and sema JJ Ross kamo there is a little bit of truth in it na ebra mo ba be share proceedings na so no ora raso swear under oath say he is familiar with the Greek alphabets. Say oba the Greek kasemuna to say brofo yo ABC you know or can say oba Greek alphabets no more he is familiar with it and now ora JJ Ross the lawyer providing with a Greek pamphlet to say near or brofa yatro ABC you know Greek so or the brand say on he nonche say di we him na ebra or the brand no ora raso enti nyanka se enie ana dinie ana inie we hwehwe ebrim ni sokra enti enene a first case omo level against no na just say you also under oath say he is familiar with the Greek language no na yentro enti ebra JJ Ross ne lawyer ede pamphlet ibre na wenti bi ehun fokoyi afide ora raso ebie na no ka say no crack eba Greek and Hebrew kasa na onim hwe efa ho ebiom osaso admit afide ohwe the way ananye masi kona na JJ Ross no lawyer no why very very prepared or the niema abase oba be batrese ensema wakafa Charles Russell ho nti afide ekoba ne say Russell conclude admit say ampa say even pastoral title na edam so no he wasn't ordained by any clergyman or bishop na nieko ba na say obekaya make say ebra Russell edi 18 years no Russell ne papa started some Bible study group bi na sa Bible study group no almost started here later on George Stotts ne George Steston no ebe joining you know Emre Kono obedane the president of that group and ebedu echi no na comfort friend pastor this pastor na ebeka as a title but he was never ordained in this court ruling no Russell editu say he was never ordained under a clergyman or a bishop. Inti afere ekonewie no Russell initially swear on swerving loyalty and honesty ema court no say oba aba beka nokre no trodo na oba beka nothing but the truth no afere na the lawyer as a lawyer is supposed to do no or trying the best say obe fafa akwene say bia obetimi afa na wetimi protecting the client but later no na niema enkoyie emma no enti court no label ora Charles Russell as a premeditated perjurer say oyobi a on kanokre say even say ojina under oath no ensema na Russell emma no na enya dia nokre bia ewo mu nti sa court ruling ya mo so no ensem pi epie because ora JJ Ross can send PF ora Russell ho na na botai ne say oyi ora Russell or die ne di ama man say ni na hu nipa kra oye na biom ni divorce eba initially abawa doing McNanny crampo kan ekofa a rose ball name molestation na eba no so no ora JJ Ross ebe kan divorce na asem no so na ebiom even though say niema na enkoye Emma Charles Russell no still na o trantro under oath he still continue to lie na osaso be kan say na yere end divorce no on the premises of foul play na enya de so a court no granted alimony say ontue bibi Emma na yere because as of this time no still na ora Russell onti ahwe Emma na yere no na emra okeka kasansemi na court no a copy of the ruling a course enti at the end no court no force Uriah Russell omo gina no so ma ne ka no kre ewo mu na ojitu mu say indeed the wife divorced him for false treatment or bad treatment or ill treatment or ill indifferent treatment and ojitu mu sa edema court no na because ruling started December 1912 na April 1st 1913 no oho and a court no ede the ruling ya eba ewie na ewie no court no say no kai say Russell is implicitly branded a perjurer by the court's noble verdict. Nti ewie no court no ka say Russell enye obi a oye no kwafo onye obi a oka no kre na ne nsem a waka nyina e court dani enye ade a emu bia eye no kre nti ewie no afede Russell ohwe a nkuku na odi nti ne ato no se obeka no kre na ode agege no ho nti oho no court no ka say he is someone who has no scruples about lying under oath and whose doctrines were admittedly based on no sound educational knowledge of the subjects in question. Inti court no ka say Uriah Russell obi a onye no kwafo even under oath one swear say obeka no kre no enya de a na oka no kre na oyobi susu a oni educational background bia na ensem anase doctrines mpa na o church no ohwa na onim ehu nimde and will propagate those kinds of doctrines. Inti anu na chi no Uriah Russell admitted say or attending school for just 7 years of his life and free school mu ebra odi 14 na odi 14 years nso so echi no we nya any formal theological training and ebiom so no na ontimi readi on saso ntimi ntro Hebrew and as a Greek kasa no na eba no psychologically conclusion of Russell abrabo nyina na yebetimi aka say as said by Reverend J.J. Ross na nkomo a odi twa about the state of the self-styled pastor Charles T. Russell and said psychologically Russell was an egotist whose imagination knew no bounds, but who is classed by his followers as an equal to the Apostle Paul as an expounder of the gospel. Among his claims is the assertion that iti J.J. Ross eka say Uriah Russell obi a ne eni swadi hunu no enim ewiye bia enim fapim bia enim se makwa kopem na enkrofo na omudi na chi nso so na omo susu anase omo hu Uriah Russell say obi a one Apostle Paul omo ben anase omo yetipemfo na obi susu a o make a very bold claim na the claim ni eti ama apostle say person me kan na ko obi a asumie the claims of Charles T. Russell. Now can say one would be better off to read his writings and leave off the Bible than to read the Bible and leave off his writings. One would be better off to read his writings and leave the Bible than to read the Bible and leave off his writings. Until Uriah Russell ever can say, Onipa, what's it ho? Let's say, what you want to say, Ober kind or no Charles T. Russell, then Troy na, you are fine. Oh yeah, okay. She and how be wrong about that. So what so Ober kind Charles T. Russell, no one and Troy and all the Bible not to change. I said, me said ye now so what so Ober kind Bible no way John and Troy and there is a big question mark to it. Now, this is the founder of the Jehovah's Witnesses. Such a bold claim, and the followers so in spite of all these things are various court cases since I started counted the number of court cases I say levy against Ora Charles Taze Russell. All of these proceedings in the court as a perjurer say on your beer or can of even under oath no or your beer or tramtro etia or tramtro extra court no. Now adia back one and dear ever Ora Charles Taze Russell and said okay Matthew 24:45 Bible no ekasa about the faithful servants. Now Ora Russell say Bible no in Matthew 24:45 no is making reference to him. Now all kinds of Bible passage Bible passage I refer to Jesus Christ. Now so Ora Russell there or say on the faithful servant Bible no ekasafa. Now also go ahead echo make claim say on the generation mono he is the mouthpiece of God. On any onyankopon ne kasamafo, and that is the reason why I will make it claim to say it is better for you to read his writings and put away the Bible than to read the Bible and put away his writings, because on any onyankopon ne kasamafo it is a way until on no Russell no na okotan Bible no for a different generation so you will be at fault. Now you ain't here other Bible not to change crown. The best also about and one said. It's answer Ora Russell not believe say the Bible contains many errors. Doctrines are the Bible not change. Ni na a fault into emra this year air cost no nyame adoma next week. The Bible is about the New World Translation. Now so yes about the origin of the Jehovah's Witnesses. Nipa fufuro yebesa so ebesua no ho asem Judge Rutherford Ora Joseph Franklin Rutherford na yeba besua ono so ne ho nsem kakra Ora Joseph Franklin Rutherford oyobi a odi Ora Charles Taze Russell ebra owuye Ora Russell ewu 1916 emu na ebra Ora Russell ewuye no Judge Rutherford. Now, it is important to note say judge honorary title here. The man, and yes, call law school be near the man. There it was just an honorary title here. The man. Now Rutherford you be a bra Russell ewu also movement in the year 1918 obey the permanent president of the movement. Now in 1917 Ora Rutherford make a claim he said the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society was God's only channel of communication, and that he was the steward of Matthew 20 verse 8 as in the parable of the penny. Now also make bigger claims. Now later 2 years after that is in 1919 also published a separate magazine and near the Golden Age. Into Kaya Russell published a lot of magazines a week, a part of it the studies in the scriptures also become we now starting a new corporation be a friend the Golden Age also appointed service directors. Now Ora Russell on a memo or say Watchtower and our Kingdom Halls now a war honor a BIA autonomous a castle autonomous I just said or the no home. Now so Ora Russell Ora Rutherford by any day or appointed service directors MMO every share Kingdom Halls Ora Russell now in 1923 or another say Oba be declared as the faithful and wise servant of Matthew 24 verse number 45. A brand nessa title yi a title and Ora Russell. Na sabre and tokwa kakra eba omu movement no mo na Obekaya ebra eba be sha ase no ka say adesua na wie ye no ye behu say senya nkofo esi eka say enye ora raso na de Jehovah's Witnesses eba na mumura Rutherford no ni nia fire by enyi isan say ora Rutherford eka say only the faithful and wise servants and ora raso so say dabi only the faithful and wise servants it akwa yes ora Rutherford copy and answer or J. Russell in Munyan. Now, a brass and course no. In 1925, no, on the editorial board, no, Ebenya, Akasakasa, Adenti, as I said, after the Papa, yes, Ora Russell, ni teaching son, or the Benina, Ora Rutherford, and I just say, or Babas Cropinia, if you honor. Into an editorial board no ebenya akasakasa 6 years pe and na dissolve esa group ni na and na ono abenya absolute control over Watchtower omo publications omo wono and na in 1914 no obe declare say Yesu Christo ni invisible presence ode wono na enika semba kon about this very particular year na say emra asa year yidu ye no Ora Rutherford eka say sa ye yi ankasa ye yi a onyankopon ebe fa enkrofo poti bi den ekoye na obekaya on Spotlight on the Word they discuss one of the doctrines of the Jehovah's Witnesses the 144,000 almost say the selected few people omobeko heaven. Now according to Ora Rutherford no in this particular year, in Onyankopon ebe fa 144,000 people at the call heaven. Inti according to ono ni cheche mu ene say 144,000 e Onyankopon aba fa kwa ewie na ya kedie. We are just living a life after that prophecy Onyankopon share in the book of Revelations. Now, Ebra oye sawi ye no so no in the year 1927 no Russell started say or pame Russell HD for nyina near from the Russellites. Adenti esan say na omo oppose no say onye Matthew 24:45 the faithful and wise servants no. Inti obi ana on time chibia obi ana on jindi say Ora Rutherford the faithful and wise servants no Ora Rutherford pame omo nyina na ade a nika semba ko am refi say me de beka ho ene say Ora Rutherford ankasa no ohwe na bakosem mu a onye obi a o start free Christos mu. It is believed say ebra World War eba ye no he was one of the prominent people no omudi akunenim inti ebra Ora Russell ye no and ono so ebe take over inti ebra no okasa ono ne the faithful and wise servants no na Russell echidi for no na nya de a omugidi inti Ora Rutherford ye na dwen say o pame omuni na inti 1927 no obi a no ye Russell echidi ni bia no Ora Rutherford pame no. Now in 1929 also no was also Bible say Romans 13:1 our Bible lectures say we should be submissive to governing authority no Rutherford Ebeka say enye senior Bible no esi patche na ye ya fa no and I say enye senior Bible no e patche na yes so ye cheche mu fa na ni cheche mu a on kind say be subject to governing authority no Bible no a reference to Onyankopon nankasa ene ne kingdom enye nipa inti Bible no enche say yenye subject to governing authority say yenye subject and I say yemre ye ho ase ema nipa eninti na Jehovah for eba ni bibia eye national eba ni bibi say Ghana say yafa Ghana mpo a eba ni bibi say bia ye to Ghana pledge and I say ye bibi yafa oman no ho a omo form hu shishem identity because they don't think that the Romans 13:1 it is referring to any governing authority senior Bible no is patche in the year 1931 and at the name Jehovah's Witnesses came into being. Once in all my discussion and the ABN may refer to Jehovah's Witnesses. But up till 1931 and Kasampo die na edi Jehovah's Witnesses no na enya mai. They were still a movement. Still na no mo ye Watchtower movement no mo ye Zion movement na omo preachy omo church tracts no mo ye tract society South America. It is our Bible study group Russell and then the papa started at the age of 18 and one Astenia Babedu Santa Persoi into 1931 a Honor side a dean Jehovah's Witnesses it will be besides Jehovah's Witnesses a dean bada benya 1931 now Ebra Okwani a dean on Susuno Rutherford Ebeka said on Suso or a mouthpiece of Jehovah. Na senior Russell kan ya ono so ebeka say ono na Jehovah ne kasamafo na enunti no afede ono so be start say oyede or trotro enkrata na even as compared to Ora Russell there no na Russell trotro writers na all books are or trotro na so na onye ono nkwa na oyede or trotro sa books na onkofo bi omo so eboa no e won trotro no into ono no tro na nkofo bi so atro. Now, so Ora Rutherford the Oba no sideline here omo nyina na obeka on the mouthpiece, the soul mouthpiece Nyankopon ekasafa ne hu. Ti afide na ono nkwa na yede trotro omo articles omo wono. Inti ono no tro articles na afide the vice president Nathan no so ahwe na the personal secretary Barney Boy ono so ahwe na afide Ora Fred France proof reading pa ko tru no ahwese brofone 1016 and keka oni na no okay for public consumption na enti sabre mu na Ora Rutherford started doctrines and then Jehovah Witnesses ye ka omo doctrines yehuno sabre na o start omo major and current doctrines yemu pi na yenim na doctrines ode ebiba ne the vindication of Jehovah's name and inti Jehovah ni dina nkasa no sabre na obejiji na emu pa say Jehovah dine ade a ye misusing a lot ebiomi ode ba ne the good news of the kingdom that is from 1914 to 1918. It is said in Messiah 1914 Onyankopon be fa 144,000 no ekoye no let us say ya can be serve the years after Onyankopon ne nsema waka no ebiom so obe church the Armageddon obe explaining the Armageddon ebe ma Jehovah for ebiom so or the concept of theocracy and kingdom organizations so by the sales for salvation, the gospel of Christ, which was not preached with true understanding until Christ came into the spiritual realms in 1980. Into the church and so say yes, in a spiritual form, church and church be man and the divine direction of the watchtower. The judge wrote also draw over 100 books and a pamphlet translated over 80 languages in 1941 and in the year 1942 January 8 Ora Rutherford from cancer was San Diego and your friend Beth Sarim and in church the House of Princes in Ora Rutherford Oberima friend Nathan no so be kind because say no the vice president Rutherford ono na ebesi na 9 na Ora Nathan no no in 1905 na ono no be the next president of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society na obe create a certain training school and there was South Lansing the Gilead Missionary Training School. Now, say, and then bring say, Jehovah's Witnesses, a cop and sempa kapa, Ora Nita no, and a beshe mukena. Ora Rutherford for new Russell there, no more than any and Troyano. As Ora Nita no, a buyer no, or beshe door to door a sempa cano, or beshe mukena pa. Inti moi, Mubufu Jehovah for some Mubaba Mufia Mubebreno. Mon blame later no because on no buy a obehye mu kena pa say asempaka adwuma ne de ese say yekọ efiefie bia mu ye wewe efiefie bia mu ne ekoka nokre esem eche omo to on obe encourage Jehovah's Witnesses emo afide omo sorry waka na omo sorry a ene de obi timi gya na adwuma si ho kra na asempaka adwuma no nkwa na oye na ono so efiri ho ekoye no ena Fred William France and so ebe shase na ono de na why na bin say on fa afabia on ka say odi Rita for the chi and I say odi Russell chi into ono de omo mie no omo teachings ni ano na wakabum na ode omo de ekotru na ono so na oversee the ongoing watchtower effort na omo botaye ene say akane abrabo anase akane ehintasem ana omo history ane ewechi no omo yo madwen say omo de nyina eba besie nti ora Fred William France ono na oba ya omo past histories nia oye na adwen say omo de ba besie nti ensem pi mabobo oboso nyina say okọ jw.org enya dia ubehu sa ensem we nyina ho adenti esan say oma bakosem ankasa de oma pepa nyina omo mpese obetresi any room for error bia nti sa no oka we deny na makase enyampa nanso so nienti a yetimi enya copies of all this information and say one cases are filed against Russell say no J.J. Ross the book no it is still there. People have copies of it. It is open to the public. Dwayne McNaney, a book on the child molester. Or the Russell, the Monatua, or the two, Nabawa was born, and also so online. Inti enya automatically or multi hiding in Nana, Nyami Adoma next week. Bible bibi Alpha, the New World Translation. Na ebra ye ba besuen abakosem ba akosuso a omo raise ye the translation committee amoboa ede New World Translation na ebeka bomu no JW4 abomodin ya apepanyi na efro say ofa o King James Bible na o New King James Bible na say any other Bible version here in order to trace the translation committee very simple. Tell Pemprofwa, omo translating every Greek and Hebrew kasa eba brofo and atri aye usuna. Very simple say obomu sam profo no. Na so for JW omo New World Translation e dey. Omo abo omo homode apepa sa nyama ni na efi ho. Na so oya de a ebepie nienti a ekwan a ye fa so kampo ebehu sa ne Fred William France ni nia bi a Raymond France not a governing body and Jehovah and oba abonte no obetro book bi na sa book no mu and reveal the 5-member committee board omo tena se etro the New World Translation enti kan ho na nyame adoma next week yemfa New World Translation no ni embobo mu ni endo musuko esan se ushia Jehovah ni na se wonene ya adesua o Bible ne de ono no on consider o Bible no kra cause ono no book owo ogidi say no kra asem no New World Translation no it is how the book for ba on hwe krampo na wa consider it ye to ye bo na ya fa New World Translation no me are study into details ni enhu senya omo book no esitie na sa wo hia obi a ye Jehovah ni a wetimi na edi nkomo na passage ba kwa ye mu pi na se hia omo a ye pese ye taki omo straight ahead John 1:1 na nyame adoma next week ye be sue bibi kakra ni ehu se wo hia Jehovah ni a men start with John 1:1 men start with John 1:1 wo start with John 1:1 na akwakọ ye se Ghana the way malaria esiadoso ha se no malaria ni nyache wa wo eduru a okwakoto utipai wa okoto para It will start with John 1:1 na omatisa na Kingdom Hall on so omesua ho niema saa so obi ka John 1:1 na kase it will start with John 1:1 na you've not caused the JW person to think further nti yebesua say oni ne sua something about the New World Translation no kwa senya obesi afa ene nipa na yeden akọ no mesua Nyankopɔn asɛm ni yie na yebotae nyina de bia on Spotlight on the Word and say yebema enipa ehu nokre no na nokre na etimi agye nyina efiri mpɔkye mu senya Bible no esika say Onyankopɔn ne nsɛm say the grace of God which brings salvation has appeared unto all men. Sani yesi nim Onyankopɔn nebufuo esifa ntina dani nyina yakoso ehye nipa den say yenim da yebewu nye yenim da Onyankopɔn ebeba nso ntina dani nyina yakoso esua nsɛm sani asene si yewu si yetias na so Onyankopɔn eba n'enyu onyamu a yeso si betimi nya nkwaje ama yekra Nyankopɔn enkoso nka ho no nkoso endom yakosisi yebesi ehia biom. Bye bye. Give me the Bible.